I'm Tracy, and today we are making some raw slice. It is chocolate and coconut. It's absolutely delicious and it's so easy to make. I'm going to be whipping this up within 5 minutes. There is no food processor and very little mixing to do. So let me introduce you to the ingredients. We have 1 cup of shredded coconut, half a cup of raw chopped almonds, 1 cup of quinoa flakes, 1 cup of chopped dates. This is 1/4 cup of cacao nibs, pepitas and dried goji berries. We have 3 tablespoons of coconut oil, 7 tablespoons of rice malt syrup, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, and 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt, just a shake. So the first step to this preparation for the recipe is to add all of the dry ingredients together in a bowl. Now, as you can see here as well, what I've done with these ingredients on the baking tray is lightly toast them. So the coconut, the almonds and the quinoa have just gone under the grill for only a couple of minutes, and that just helps, it brings out the flavour, but it also helps to combine the ingredients by drying them out. So let's just add these to the bowl, one at a time. Okay, all in there. Now we add our dates. And we add 1/4 mix of the cacao nibs and the goji berries and pepitas. Now this is quite flexible. I do recommend that you use the cacao nibs in your ingredients. However, if you don't have the dried goji berries or the pepitas, you can certainly leave them out. You could even substitute it for other dried fruits or other seeds as well, work really well. But 1/4 cup you need for this recipe. In there. And we'll gently mix these together as the start of the preparation. Then we'll be heading over to the stove to mix together our wet ingredients. Okay, so what we have here, I've just turned the stove on to a low heat. And first I'll add the rice malt syrups. This is a nice sweet syrup. However, it is not as sweet as honey or maple syrup. It is very low in fructose, which is a sweetener that we want to avoid as much as possible. And what this is, rice malt syrup is a very interesting sweetener. It is actually a complex carbohydrate, so our body metabolizes it very differently to other form of sweetener such as sugar or honey. And that way, when it's a slow energy releasing complex carbohydrate, it means that we'll actually hold on to that energy for longer and we won't have that sudden high from sugar and then that sudden dip as well. So this is a really good part of that raw energy slice. Okay, and then we have just a tablespoon of coconut oil, helps to combine the ingredients, adds a lovely flavour. A very healthy oil as well as part of the ingredients. We have our tablespoon of vanilla extract. This is organic, real vanilla extract, and it adds a lovely flavour to this slice. This is all raw, so as much as the slice has those natural beautiful flavours of the almonds and the dates and the cacao nibs, just adding that little bit of vanilla really brings out the slice and adds a beautiful flavour. And as with a few of my other recipes, my sweet recipes, a pinch of salt, it makes such a difference. It's beautiful. So it's roughly 1/4 teaspoon for this recipe, and that goes in with the wet ingredients as well. Now if you wanted to come over here and have a look, you can see it's quite runny to start off with, just on a low heat. And what we'll be needing to do is continuously stir this until it thickens. So until it has a consistency a lot more like honey, just a thicker consistency. And let the ingredients boil a little. As you can see, there are some bubbles boiling here. Only for about 20 to 30 seconds though. And then continue to simmer and stir. Okay, so now with that bubbling, as I take that off the heat, that will thicken. So we'll be adding a lovely syrup to this dry ingredients now. It's actually even changed colour, so that's when you'll know that it will be thickened as well. It's gone from a light golden colour now to quite a rich caramel colour. Beautiful. Straight into the bowl with the ingredients. And mix. Now you will find that it doesn't seem to be very wet. There are a lot of dry ingredients to mix through with that small amount of syrup, but keep mixing until you've covered all the dry ingredients, because I've measured it very carefully to know that it will in fact cover all the dry ingredients just perfectly for this recipe to set. Alright, so you can see mixing it very, very well, and it's already starting to become a tough mixture to stir, but this is making the base of our slice. Now all I've done here is prepare a cake tin with some lining paper, so some baking paper to line it, I should say, and all it is transferring this into that cake tin, and once it's transferred I'll be covering it with some wrap and placing it into the fridge for about 4 to 5 hours. Or you can obviously place it in there overnight too, and that's going to help it set it. The longer you can leave it, the better, the more it will set. And it will become firm enough to cut and slice and serve. And it's that simple. That's all you need to do to create a beautiful, healthy, delicious slice. No more of this paying, a lot of money for muesli bars and other slices at the supermarket. You can make your own in as little as 5 minutes. As you can see there, I've just pressed it into the tin, like so. Absolutely beautiful. Cover that with wrap. And into the fridge. So that raw slice is setting in the fridge. This is one that we made earlier. It is set, so it's nice and firm and very easy to slice. You can slice it as thick or as thin as you like. Very, very easy to wrap and take to work, pack in the kids' lunch boxes. Absolutely delicious and a perfect alternative to muesli bars and slices. It's very wholesome, very nutritious, raw and refined, sugar-free. Absolutely delicious. I hope you enjoy.